Hello and welcome back to the Games Kingdom. My name's Carl King and today we're going to be taking a look at some items, mostly miniatures, from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. They've kindly sent me these miniatures so I can put them together and do a review on them. They are in their new arrivals section on their website, so if you like anything that you see here today, go over there and check that out. I first discovered them when I used and bought 5 Parsecs from Home. This is the 3rd edition. It's solo adventure wargaming in a sci-fi universe. So you basically roll up your team, squad, characters, whatever, and you can play out this solo. You can obviously do this multiplayer, but this is primarily a solo adventure wargaming thing from MODIPHIUS in a, as I say, a sci-fi universe. It's a very well put together system. There is a lot of things that they've done for it. They've done some scenario books and various other books to go along and complement this rule book. So if you want to check that out on their website, they do these and plenty of other games. But as I say, I'm going to be using the miniatures that you see here in a few minutes in the games of 5 Parsecs, but you can also use them in other sci-fi games, whether it be sort of skirmish wargaming or role-playing games. You can use them to depict your characters. There's also some sort of scenery pieces here. I've got some made up. I've got most of them undercoated. I've got some sort of wash on 1 or 2 so that you can see potentially, hopefully, a little bit better on screen the detail on some of them. I've painted or started to paint some of them, so some of them are in sort of some degree of finishing. 1 or 2 of them are actually finished, so they're all in different stages. I'm going to be working my way through, but I thought what I'll do, I'll get cracking with a video, and at least it will show you what they look like when they're put together, because they do come on like little miniature sprues. They're sort of like a resin more than a plastic, but they are exceptional quality, as you'll see, and they do make nice squads of different things that you can use for, as I say, your sort of space adventurers. There's some things that you can use as security or sort of a police squad. And then there's some what they call high programmers, but you can use them as sort of mystics or ambassadors, leaders, all sorts of things that you can use them for. We've got a few vending machines and some drones and bits and pieces. So what we'll do, we'll put this rule book to one side and we'll crack on and show you what we've got. So first off, we'll start with what they are calling Vulture Squad A and B. So we've got 5 models in this squad. So as you can see there, they are, hopefully you can see there, nicely detailed. They all come with individual arms and things, so you could potentially put these on in any way that you want. They are sort of numbered stroke lettered, so you follow what they are, but if you wanted to change them around, I don't think that would cause too much trouble. And there are also pictures online which show you the finished thing. So that's the back of one of the other models, which to me looks potentially as though he could be their squad leader. We've got another guy here, and this is what I mean by I've put some wash on this one, so hopefully this might allow a few more of the details to sort of stand out on that sort of quilted clothing and things. And they all come with, as I say, sort of different weapons and bits and pieces. But yeah, you can use these. Again, another possible sort of squad leader model. But yeah, that quilting is going to paint up really nice, especially if you're using sort of your contrast or your army painter speed paints. They'll sort of go in there and they will do their own sort of shading. And then we've got another guy here. They've all got these sort of hand weapons bit of a sort of laser type thing by the look of it, or plasma type gun. But yeah, you can paint these up in different colours depending on your mood and what you want to use them for. So that was Vulture Squad A and B. Then we've got we'll go with the high programmers. These are the ones that I said are going to be like your sort of ambassadors, leaders, mystics, that sort of thing. So as it was Christmas, I started painting them up in red and white. I've still got to paint the bits that are white. I've still got to paint those a bit more, but as you can see, I used some Army Painter red on there, so that sort of self-shaded that particular model. And this was the other one. So again, I've only painted the red and the bases on these, so, and obviously the skin. So I might leave his hair white to sort of signify age and stuff, but yeah, the robe bits that are white will eventually get painted maybe sort of a yellow or something to sort of contrast against the red, or I might completely change my mind and go with something else. But at the minute I'm going to leave them both as this and then try and finish them off at a later stage. Then we've got a few bits here that they call their consoles and vending machines. So you get 3 of these, and I've painted them up in different colours, which will sort of sit on street corners or in rooms in facilities. So they are all the same, but I've just painted them up slightly different. Again, I've just got to finish these off. I've started to sort of do the lettering and bits and pieces on these in white just to make that stand out, and then once they're all finished off, I'll give everything a coat of matte varnish. We may stick some other bits and pieces on here as well, but yeah, you've got your 3 different vending machines there. We've got, so again, we've got some nice little computer consoles. That one has a broken screen that you can see there. That one is a working terminal, and I've done that one when I work it as a working terminal, but one that's actually turned on and has got some writing on it. Obviously undecipherable, but you get the picture. That's sort of just to signify that there is some writing on it, and then sort of just dry brush the keyboard a little bit. But yeah, all these things need a little bit more of sort of attention and finishing off, but I thought I'd show you where I am up with those. And then you also get a handful of screens, some broken, some not broken, hopefully you can see here, that you can sort of stick to other surfaces or to the walls of bits and pieces, maybe onto sort of entrances of rooms and bits and stuff in your complexes or in some of your rooms. This is what I'm going to do with these. I've built some scenery over the Christmas holidays, and these will complement that to a T. So those are your consoles. You also get some utility bots and a drone. Now I've painted up the drone, or started to, just as a basic sort of greys and things that will fly about, and you do get it on a little flying stand, but obviously you can change that if you wish. And obviously I've got to do something with the base, or maybe just leave it black so that it's sitting on the tabletop and flying around. But then this is how you get your bits and pieces. Hopefully you can see in the bag there, they all come on there. All the bits come on there, little individual sprues. So I thought I'd leave these utility bots just to show you how the things come. I've kept all of those little bits of shavings and stuff. I tend to keep those just because you can use those as little sort of bits of fallen scenery and bricks and stuff. There's a little sort of utility bot type tank thing there, so one of those rovers that goes around maybe with a camera on it to go around corners and get shot at rather than people getting shot at, or maybe even a roving mine. So you can use that for different purposes. And then again, some other utility bots. This one is armed with rather large sort of kitchen knife stroke machete there in its hand, stroke at the end of a tentacle. So those, as I say, are your utility bots A, B, C and D. We've got some security blue troopers, so you get some actual guys. So I'm going to paint these up in, probably sort of start to paint completely in blue and use them as a police force of type. Again, so you've got a guy there with what looks like, you can either use as a, again, as a ray gun or maybe even a flamethrower. But yeah, again, some very nice details on these models. Hopefully that's coming across okay. You've got a guy kneeling down with a sort of sniper type rifle. I've just used some old Star Wars bases on some of these, to be honest, because they fitted the aesthetic of the model very nice. I don't think they came with any bases with them. It was either this or put them onto clear models, but I decided to use these plastic ones that I had spare. Then you've got, again, what I think is probably your squad stroke platoon leader with his trusty pistol and a sort of stun prod by the looks of things. But yeah, I think these will really paint up nice. You could even paint these up as sort of almost like your Judge Dredd type things, because they've got those sort of similar sort of shoulder pads on, so you could even incorporate them into those sorts of types of games if you wanted. And then what you also get with them are 3 of these sort of walking robots with a arm with a gun, and then another which has got some sort of chainsaw on it. So they're sort of patrolling around and keeping the undesirables at bay. But yeah, you get 3 of these. So I've just sort of posed their arms a little bit different and whatever on those. But as you can see, they are very nice. And then again, I've done one where I've put a little bit of wash on, so hopefully you might be able to see a little bit more detail on there. And that one's got some sort of pincer stroke claw rather than that chainsawed on it, and a different type of weapon as well. Again, looks like some sort of plasma type gun. But yeah, I think these are going to paint up really nicely. And again, painting these all blue with maybe the odd splash of white and stuff on there to signify that they're part of the sort of local police or stroke enforcement force. We'll have those on quite a nice thing, and they will fit in exactly with things like your 5 parsecs from home game, as there are some robots and things in the rules. So the last one that we've got is what we call the troubleshooters. The troubleshooters A and B, or A plus B there. So again, I've started to paint these guys. So you've got a guy there with a massive hammer. I've just got to sort of put that into some warm water and straighten that out, although it could be that he's swinging it and it's got a bit of flex on it. But again, you can see there that the arms have got some very good details on the muscles, and yeah, he's a fairly hefty sort of chap. Then you've got a guy here with some sort of bombardment weapon stroke cannon, maybe a laser cannon that can fire. So you can see there, hopefully get that into focus a little bit. You can see those sort of almost like inner teeth on the opening there, and again some very nice detail on the sort of overalls and t-shirts and things, so they've been done really nice. We've got another guy here who's basically carrying a bomb that is already alight, and yeah, he's got a very sort of funny smile on his face, so yeah, looks a bit strange, but again, an excellent model with some very nice detail on it. and these guys would make obviously some very nice sort of gang members stroke goons for your game. We've got another guy here again with what appears to be a flamethrower. So yeah, another nice addition to the troubleshooters. And then I've done two where I've pretty much finished. So you've got one lady with her trusty sort of large pistol stroke gun. Hopefully that's come across quite well with the details. And then another female miniature where she's blowing some bubble gum. I thought the hair turned out quite nicely actually. Again, that's Army Painter speed paint, which does its job where it sort of self shades, as it were. Just got to finish off doing a little bit of highlighting on the weapon just to take that sort of bareness off, but pretty much all of the clothing and things done. She's got a bit of a dirty t-shirt on there, sort of as if she's a bit of a roughneck type character. And again, the trousers have come out really nicely with the Army Painter, because the Army Painter Paints has picked out all of the details that you can see hopefully on this model, similar to the others, and they really do complement one another. So these are going to be nice models to finish off, and then they will go into some of my sci-fi games, both at home when I'm playing solo, and hopefully maybe at one or two events if we get something to the table of that ilk. So there you have it. Those are the new model ranges from MODIPHIUS Entertainment. As I say, these are all on their website now, along with a lot of other new stuff, and also obviously all of their previous ranges for not only these types of games but other games as well. So yeah, check them out. As you can see here, we've got the MODIPHIUS name and things there. So yeah, check that out online, and you'll be able to either go online and purchase these, or have a look at other ranges and other games and systems that they do. And if you like the look of those, then you know, get yourself a few and get them to the table into your games of RPG or skirmish sci-fi and other systems. But yes, thank you again to MODIPHIUS for sending me these. I'm going to enjoy finishing all of these off and getting them onto games in the near future. But yes, they'll be in these into 5 parsecs from home, and maybe even in the odd game of the Alien RPG as well. But yeah, you can use them in anything really. Yeah, until we do another one of these, it's bye for now.